May I please request everyone to kindly settle down as we are about to start with our program in May I please request everyone to please all rise for our processional and to please remain standing for the doxology and the Philippine National Anthem to be led by our CBSUA chorale. everyone may now take their seats. A pleasant morning to everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the academic community, esteemed guests, faculty members, staff, alumni, students, and stakeholders, welcome to the presentation of candidates in public forum for the search for the next University President of the Central Bicol State University of Agriculture. This is Darren Avestruz, your host and moderator for this morning's affair. The presentation and public forum in which we are here today is a vital part of the selection of the next CBSUA University President. It is where the candidates are presented to the public and the CBSUA community are given the opportunity to hear our candidates' platform and vision for the next University President. First, we would like to acknowledge the presence of our dear university officials present here today, led by our University President, Dr. Alberto N. Naperi. Also, we'd like to acknowledge the presence of our Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Melinda Paropan, our Vice President for Administration and Finance, Attorney Dominador Faurillo, our Vice President for Research and Innovation, Dr. Dariel A. Palmiano, our Vice President for Business and External Affairs, Dr. Cherry Love Montales. Acknowledgement also to our dear campus administrators. For Calabanga Campus, we have Dr. Ernesto Doloso Jr. Our campus administrator for Pili, Dr. Alan Del Rosario. Our campus administrator for Sipocot Campus, Mr. Roel Castuera. Our campus administrator for Pasacao Campus, we have Dr. Christine May Regaspi. Also, we would like to acknowledge the presence of our guests this morning. We have the University President of the University of Nueva Cáceres. We have Dr. Faye Lea Patria Lauraya. Also joining us this morning is the SUC President of the Bicol State College of Applied Sciences and Technology, Dr. Charlie Nacario. Also with us today is the Provincial Director for the Civil Service Commission, Camarines Sur Field Office, Director Maria Dolores Salud. Good morning po to everyone. Further, we would like to acknowledge the virtual presence of our attendees this morning through simultaneous live stream in Calabanga, Sipocot, Pasacao Campus, as well as everyone who is tuned in via the social media platforms of the university through the official Facebook and YouTube platforms. So, to provide us with the essential groundwork for today's proceedings, including the presentation of guidelines and the introduction of the search committee for president, we have our university and board secretary and the secretariat of the search committee for president, Mr. Ray Sanchez. A warm round of applause for Sir Ray.
Good morning, everyone. In line with the end of the incumbent president's term in October 2026 at the Central Bicol State University of Agriculture and pursuant to the Commission on Higher Education Memorandum Order Number 7, Series of 2022, and the CBSUA Board Resolution Number 33, Series of 2026, we are gathered here today for the presentation of candidates for the next CBSUA President and the public forum. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor of presenting to you the composition of the Search Committee for President. Dr. Dexter R. Butted, Chairperson of the Search Committee for President. Dr. Butted is the Administrator and Chief Executive Officer of the Philippine Coconut Authority. He's a former President of Pangasinan State University. Dr. Tirso A. Ronquillo, ASEAN Engineer, Member, PASOK Representative. Dr. Ronquillo is the President of Batangas State University, the National Engineering University, and the President of the Philippine Association of State Universities and Colleges. Dr. Demetrio P. Anduyan Jr., Career Executive Service Officer 3, Member, CHED Representative. Dr. Anduyan Jr. is the Regional Director of the Commission on Higher Education, Regional Office 5. Associate Professor Bessie B. Ronda, Member, Faculty Representative. Associate Professor Ronda teaches at CBSUA Pasacao Campus. She is the coordinator of the Institutional Planning and Development Office, CBSUA Pasacao. Ms. Joy B. Cabaltea, Member, Students Representative. Ms. Cabaltea is a third-year Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Filipino. She is the Editor-in-Chief of College Artisans Bulletin, CBSUA Sipocot. Engineer Salvador S. Abalayan. Member, Alumni Representative. Engineer Abalayan is a graduate of Calabanga National School of Arts and Trades in 1981. Mr. Jo Marie Leo T. Florese, Member, Private Sector Representative. Mr. Florese is the President of the Camarines Sur Learning Sites for Agriculture Incorporated, Executive Director, Bicol Learning Sites for Agriculture Incorporated. For the Secretariat, yours truly, Mr. Rayaco Sanchez, the University and Board Secretary, CBSUA. Ms. Desiree May V. Abalos. Ms. Abalos is the Executive Secretary, Office of the Commission on Higher Education, Chairperson, Shirley C. Agrupis. And Mr. James A. Tranquilino, Board Secretary 1, CBSUA. And now, for the guidelines for the public forum. All participants are expected to observe order, respect, fairness, and decorum throughout this forum. Prior to the start of the program, all candidates drew lots to determine the order of presentation of their mission, vision, and goals. There will be an official live stream published by the CBSUA official media page. The comments section of the official live stream shall be disabled or closed. If allowed, as one of the features of our Facebook for the duration of the program to maintain peace and orderliness. Candidates in the holding area are not allowed to use mobile phones. The same will be collected by the SCP Secretariat prior, of course, to the start of the program. Pieces of paper were circulated among attendees. These questions will be screened and approved by the Search Committee for President and will be read twice by the designated representative. The candidates are given 1 minute to answer the questions. Questions that cannot be accommodated during the public forum may still be considered for the panel interview in the afternoon. The presentation of the candidates for the next president of CBSUA shall take 10 minutes. Criteria for the public forum. Personal traits. Under personal traits, the aspect, articulateness, poise, and cohesiveness. That's 25 points. Grasp and ability to respond to the situation. Aspects, analytical skills, comprehensive reading of events and issues, ability to respond to current issues. That's 25 points. Mission, vision, and programs. Aspect, relevance to global development and national thrust, comprehensiveness, responsiveness to provincial, regional, national issues, realism, attainability, practicability, and clarity of presentation. That's 25 points. Public image, acceptability, and rapport with constituents and personal credibility. That's 25 points, for a total of 100 points. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sanchez, our University and Board Secretary, for establishing the framework and introducing our members of the Search Committee for President. And now, to formally welcome us to this momentous event, it is now my privilege to introduce the Chief Executive Officer and Administrator of the Philippine Coconut Authority and Chairperson of the Search Committee for President, Dr. Dexter R. Booted, who will be joining us today via Zoom. Let us give him a warm welcome.
Good morning to everyone, to the University President, Dr. Albert Naperi, my good friend, members of the Board of Regents, members of the Search Committee, representatives from the LGU and the Commission on Higher Education, distinguished officials and members of the Central Bicol State University of Agriculture, to our candidates for the University Presidency, faculty members and staff, our students, alumni, our partners, and guests, a pleasant morning and welcome. I would very much wanted to be with you personally today, but for this important stage, for the search for the next president of the Central Bicol State University of Agriculture. Unfortunately, an equally important matter of official duty requires my presence elsewhere, so I have been called to report at Malacanang at 10 a.m. In public service. There are occasions when we are called upon to attend to matters requiring our immediate attention. So please be assured, however, that my absence today does not diminish my commitment to the search and to my responsibility as chairperson. I have full confidence with my fellow members of the Search Committee and our Secretariat to ensure that today's proceedings are conducted with fairness, transparency, integrity, and of course, professionalism. Ladies and gentlemen, today marks an important moment for CBSUA. The search for a university president is not simply about filling a position. It is about choosing the leadership that will help define the next chapter of this institution, its direction, its aspiration, and ultimately, its contribution to the communities and people it serves. CBSUA has built a proud legacy in education, research, innovation, and community development. As we look to the future, we need leadership that will not only preserve this legacy, but build upon it. Leadership that understands the changing landscape of higher education, embraces innovation, strengthens partnership, and above all, remains firmly anchored on the university's mandate of service. It is in the spirit that the Search Committee for President undertakes its responsibility. As a committee, we recognize the weight of the responsibility entrusted to us. We are committed to ensuring that this search is undertaken with integrity, fairness, transparency, and objectivity. Always keeping in mind what is best for CBSUA and the people it serves. Dr. Naperi, on behalf of the Search Committee, we thank you for your hard work, your dedication, and your love and invaluable service to the university. Our salute to you, Mr. President. The institution that the next president will lead carries with it the gains, lessons, foundations established during your stewardship. To our candidates, today is your opportunity not only to present your qualifications, but most importantly, to share your vision. Tell us where you believe CBSUA should go, how you intend to bring the university there, and how your leadership can inspire this community to move forward. And to the CBSUA community, your participation in this process is equally important. The future of a university is never shaped by one person alone. It is built collectively by leaders who provide direction and by a community willing to work together toward a shared purpose. May today's proceeding be characterized by openness, respect, and a genuine commitment to finding the leader who can bring out the very best in this university. The presidency we seek is not merely a position to be occupied, but a responsibility to be carried, a future to be shaped. With that, I warmly greet everyone this important stage of the search for the next president of the Bicol State University of Agriculture. Pro Deo et Patria, for God and country. Maraming salamat. God bless CBSUA at magandang umaga po sa ating lahat.
Thank you very much, Dr. Buted, for those inspiring opening words this morning. We would also like to acknowledge the presence of the members of the Board of Regents who are here with us this morning. We have the Faculty Regent, we have Dr. Alberto Cabrera. We also have our representative from the private sector. We have Mr. Santiago Cervantes. And our Alumni Regent, we have Ms. Imelda M. Albero. We now come to the heart of today's activity, the presentation of visions and leadership plans for our institution. Each candidate will share their proposed vision, mission, and development goals for the Central Bicol State University of Agriculture in accordance with the guidelines presented to us earlier. Shortly after each presentation, our candidates will be asked several questions from our sectoral representatives, providing our community an opportunity to engage with our presidential candidates on key institutional issues. To introduce to us our candidates this morning, we would like to call in one of the members of the Search Committee for President, the President of the Batangas State University, and the President of the Philippine Association of State Universities and Colleges, Dr. Tirso A. Ronquillo.
Members of the Board of Regents, University President Dr. Bert Naperi, the members of the Search Committee, and the entire academic community of CBSUA, ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor to present to you the candidates for the presidency of the university. First is Dr. Douglas Angel A. Aragon. Dr. Aragon holds a Doctor of Philosophy, major in Literature from the University of Santo Tomas, completed in 2025. He brings significant experience in academic administration, having served as Dean of the College of Education for more than 7 years. Our second candidate is Dr. Emerson L. Bergoño. Dr. Bergoño earned his Doctor of Philosophy in Environmental Science from the University of the Philippines, Los Baños in 2019. His administrative experience spans several leadership positions, including Vice President for Academic Affairs, Director of the Planning Office, and Director of the Neo-Normal Adventure Center. Our third candidate is Dr. Helen L. Madela. Dr. Madela holds a Doctor of Education in Educational Management from Bicol University, where she completed in 2011. She brings to the search more than 6 years of experience as campus administrator, providing her with substantial exposure to institutional and campus-level management. Our fourth candidate is Dr. Ana E. Miranya. Dr. Miranya earned her Doctor of Education in Educational Leadership and Management from Bicol University in 2017. Her administrative experience includes serving as Vice President for Academic Affairs and as Dean of the College of Development Education, giving her experience in both university-wide academic leadership and college administration. Our fifth candidate is Dr. Ramona Isabel S. Ramirez. Dr. Ramirez holds Doctor of Philosophy in Educational Foundation from Bicol University, completed in 2012. Her leadership experience includes serving as Vice President for Research and Innovation, complemented by her experience in various directorship positions in research-related offices. Our sixth candidate is Dr. Christine May C. Regaspi. Dr. Regaspi earned her Doctor of Philosophy in Educational Management from Naga College Foundation in 2017. She has served as campus administrator and as Dean of the College of Education with more than 7 years of combined administrative experience. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the 6 individuals who offer themselves for consideration for the presidency of Central Bicol State University and Agriculture. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ronquillo, for introducing to us the 6 candidates for the next University President of CBSUA. And now we proceed to the presentation of the proposed vision, mission, and development goals of our candidates. First, the first presenter for this morning is Dr. Douglas Angel A. Aragon II.
Greetings to the University's Board of Regents, headed by the Chairperson of the Commission on Higher Education, Honorable Shirley C. Agropis, PhD, the SUC President for Dr. Alberto Naperi, the 4 VPs of the University, the members for the Search Committee for the next CBSUA President, chaired by Dr. Dexter R. Boted, from the Philippine Coconut Authority, and other key officials, colleagues in the profession, stakeholders, guests, my fellow aspirants, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Yours truly is a graduate of the Doctor of Philosophy at the University of Santo Tomas, Manila. I was designated Dean of the College of Education for 9 years, from 2011 to 2019, and serve as chairperson of various committees. Presently, I am the coordinator of quality assurance at the CBSUA Sipocot campus. I was honored with Dalupuno Award on 3 occasions in 2014, 2017, and 2019. I was a grantee of various scholarship programs, Filipinas Foundation Incorporated, Fund Assistance for Private Education, and the Chaired Faculty Development Scholarship Program. I was also a recipient of Cafuerte Scholarship Program for Thesis Writing Assistance and Institutional Thesis Writing Assistance. I am an author and literary critic. What is my 4-year direction setting? Presently, the Central Bicol State University of Agriculture is at the height of its commitment to advancing instruction, research and innovation, and curriculum enhancement that lead to building resilient and sustainable communities. I wish to recognize the accomplishments of the present administration under the leadership of SUC President 4, Dr. Alberto N. Naperi. For the record, from 2024 to present, the university received various awards and recognitions, such as PQA Level 2, Inclusion and 1001-1500 times Higher Education Impact Ranking, ISO Certification Recognition in the World University Rankings for Innovation, Civil Service, Prime HRM Maturity Level 2 Compliance, an IA Level 2 Institutionally Accredited University, and UI Green Metric, and among others. With these accomplishments, what do I have to offer? My vision is to establish the CBSUA as the next Gen Hub University in the Bicol region. At present, there is no widely recognized institution labeled Next Gen Hub University, and this is my vision for a transition to higher ground from the CBSUA generic niche as an agricultural university with global standards. CBSUA as a next-gen hub university will lead the university to global cross-disciplinary platforms in agropolitan development, green economics, and the humanities. This will be an emerging trend in agricultural and agroecological innovation and in agri-tech leadership university-led centers, focused on creating agronomists and agribusiness leaders equipped with the philosophy of understanding human culture and values while honing their practical farming industry skills, professional agronomy, technical vocational training, and cultural heritage. How shall I do it? I am guided with my development goals. This vision is guided by my development goals. The first one is transformative education. This first goal will create a transition in mindsets toward an inclusive worldview, critical perception, rational discourse, and praxis, thereby empowering us all. This follows the CHED's Achieve agenda and strategic roadmaps for 2030 that envision that our educational system will shift toward digital transformation. AI-driven infrastructure, localized regional inclusion, and industry integration to create future-proof Filipino graduates. My second goal is interdisciplinary innovation. This goal will create collaboration between and among campuses to achieve high-value milestone that throughout the process may break down the silent culture of communication gaps and institutional barriers. This can be done by building a diverse team with a common goal of sharing knowledge, language, technology, and culture towards advancement. My third goal is community empowerment. This third goal will promote a culture of inclusivity, cooperation, and a skill building through continuous capacity building, participatory planning, resource access, and partnership. This can be done through assessment of needs, a culture of inclusivity, building skills, forming partnerships, and sharing ownerships. My fourth development goal is global networking. This fourth goal will connect colleagues across borders, locally, nationally, and internationally, to create networks and linkages resulting in fast communication, career growth, and business reach. This can be done through various platforms of gateway protocols for dynamic global routing and connectivity. My last development goal is institutional sustainability. This fifth goal will ensure the university's continued operation, leadership, financial health, and social value over the long term, thereby promoting adaptability, accountability, and resource renewal. This can be done by understanding the university's core mission, daily operation, and long-term strategic framework for the next Gen Hub University. With these development goals, what can I genuinely deliver for the progress and development of CBSUA with my vision for a next Gen Hub University? The next Gen Hub University development is a new strategy for reconceptualizing CBSUA into a more comprehensive university, revitalizing prospects for the transformation through agropolitan development, green economics, and the humanities. Over the 4-year transition, this Next Gen Hub University will explore the agropolitan project at a higher tier for the university's development and sustainability. In doing so, activities may include strat planning, infrastructure, curriculum research integration, and partnership and governance. These activities will create a progressive trajectory that will start with the strategic planning infrastructure. It will revisit the university core plan to reflect a next-gen hub framework that promotes emerging technology with rural production, build smart farming, that showcase crop monitoring fields and post-harvest processing facilities, and establish dedicated agro-industrial parks of special economic zones for CBSUA and its stakeholders. Moreover, alongside the curriculum and research, the university may intensify its course programs in climate-resilient agriculture, digital supply chains, agritourism, and the humanities and the arts. This would solve local farming bottlenecks, address food security and challenges, and promote cultural heritage, thereby creating extension-com research programs. Finally, through partnership and governance, these next-gen hub activities will continue to form alliances with local government units to align regional and land use policies with university innovation, to partner with private agribusiness for funding, internship, and commercialization. Thus, the Next-Gen Hub University means creating centers as a source of academic knowledge, smart agriculture, emerging technology, resilient economics, and cultural identity for sustainable development. In closing, I am guided by my mantra, from root to frontier, cultivating minds, advancing societies. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Douglas Angel Aragon II, our first presenter this morning. And now we proceed with the question and answer forum, sir. We will be joined by 4 representatives from various sectors and read us the questions picked by the Search Committee for President. We have a representative from our faculty, Dr. Raymark Basagre.
All right. Apologies po. Good morning, Dr. Aragon.
Good morning.
Here is the question picked by the search committee. Question from the faculty. If you become the next university president, what decision for the academic community, particularly from the faculty, which you will you make, which you think will be widely unpopular for a week, but celebrated in 10 years? Let me repeat the question. If you become the next university president, what decision for the academic community, particularly for the faculty, will you make which you think will be widely unpopular for a week, but celebrated in 10 years?
I hope I got the question correctly.
Yeah.
In order to unify the faculty, we need a collaboration among others. So communication is very necessary. And in establishing the strat plan, what is the core plan or what is the goal, going to the next 4 years and in the long term for 10 years. Where does the university will go and what will be the participation of the faculty in it? So I think with this next Gen Hub University, we can start by collaborating, by understanding what is the CHED agenda of the CHED, which is achieve, which is understanding the fragmented education, which includes the digital transformation, the micro-credentials, which will expand our competency from the traditional to the emerging technology. Thank you.
For the next question, we have the representative from the non-teaching personnel, Mr. Luigi Lorenzo Razal.
Good morning, Dr. Aragon. So this is the question from the non-teaching human resource. Why is serving as the next CBSUA president significant to you? I repeat the question. Why is serving as the next CBSUA president significant to you?
To become the next CBSUA president is very significant for me. One, for personal growth. I can show my capacity as a leader, as a theoretical leader with a conceptual, my skills, and a nurturing leader. So with that leadership, I can be empowering, visionary, and nurturing in order to create an advancement, a continuous advancement for the entire CBSUA community. So being a transformative leader, we need to focus on the emerging trends of the technology the emerging trends of education, which is transitioning from the traditional going to the modern education. So we need to embrace the AI transformation, which is already part of the educational system. Thank you.
Our next question will be given to us by a student from the CBSUA Calabanga campus, Mr. Alvincent Camallia.
Good morning po, sir. This question is from students po. If you become our next president, by what measurable indicators will you define success at the end of your first year? Again po, by what measurable indicators will you define success at the end of your first year po? Thank you.
I think the first and foremost indicator for the studentry is that identifying or knowing the learning gaps which is brought by this new normal education. We know that the learning competency that designed by the curriculum is not being targeted, or our graduates is not anymore showing the expected competency from the design of the curriculum. So if I shall be the next president, we shall be upskilling the curriculum in order to see the alignment of the design towards the industry needs, the department, the education needs, and so on and so forth. So there will be alignment, there will be upskilling, there will be advancement to a modern educational system.
The fourth question will be given to us by an alumni representative. We have Dr. Milet Collada.
Good morning, Dr. Aragon. This is my question. What specific strategy will you implement to mobilize the networks of our alumni in support of CBSUA? Again, what specific strategy will you implement to mobilize the networks of our alumni in support of CBSUA?
Thank you very much. I think we can create a consortium or collaboration with the alumni. We believe that the alumni has that wisdom, and we can create a localized philosophy that would guide our students from these modern philosophies, because classical philosophies and classical knowledge is still very much functional with the tested philosophies of the alumni. With their experience, I think it can be a very good guide for our students. So consortium with the alumni, not only for the personal care and nurturing their existence as one of the members of the university, but their significant role when they are out already of the service. They have that significant role, which is contributing and proving that classical philosophies based from their experience are still useful as today. Thank you.
And to give us the last question for this round, we have a representative from the local government unit.
Good morning, Dr. Aragon. This question is from the local government unit. How will your administration safeguard the institutional autonomy and academic freedom of CBSUA against political interference in governance and appointments? I repeat, how will your administration safeguard the institutional autonomy and academic freedom of CBSUA against political interference in governance and appointments?
Basically, political or LGU partnership, LGU partnership provides a very significant advantage to the university because it is part of how the university grow. But in order to preserve and maintain the academic freedom of the university, then we need to consider some rules or boundaries between the power of the LGU over the university and the power and the partnership of the university over the LGU. So the clear boundaries between the two will set whether a certain favor will be over a credential or over a merit of the faculty and employees, or over a favor from the political affiliations. Because that one provides, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Once again, a round of applause for our first presenter, Dr. Douglas Angel Aragon II. Our second candidate to present this morning is Dr. Helen L. Madela. We would also like to acknowledge the presence of our guests from Partido State University. We have Dr. Michael Flores, Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Charlie Balagtas, Vice President for Administration and Finance, and the Partido State University and Board Secretary, Ma'am Lian Ordonio. Thank you po for being with us today. Once again, our second presenter for this morning, we have Dr. Helen L. Madela.
Honorable Chair and members of the Board of Regents, distinguished members of the Search Committee, respected colleagues, members of the CBSUA community, our dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Allow me to begin by sharing not simply the vision I have for CBSUA, but the future I believe we can build together.
Before CBSUA became a university, there was a place, a land of abundance and challenge, a people shaped by the mountains, sustained by the sea, and strengthened by resilience. And at the heart of the story is Pili. Pili is more than a place. It is a promise. For generations, Central Bicol State University of Agriculture has carried the aspirations of Bicol through education, through research, through extension, through innovation and service. Across 4 campuses, CBSUA has developed people, created knowledge, and served communities. Our roots are strong. Our responsibility is greater. The world around us is changing. Food systems are becoming more complex. Climate risks are becoming more urgent. Technology is transforming how we learn, work, produce, and compete. And universities are being asked a more important question. Can knowledge create real change? For CBSUA, the future will not be shaped by waiting for change. It will be shaped by choosing the future we are prepared to build. And our answer begins with who we are. Bicol is not simply where CBSUA is located. It is our living laboratory, our source of knowledge, our field of innovation, and our responsibility. From ridge to reef, our ecosystems, commodities, communities, and people give CBSUA a distinctive opportunity. Our place is not our limitation, it is our advantage. This is the future I envision for CBSUA. A CBSUA that becomes the Bicol region's premier agricultural and ridge-to-reef university, globally competitive and deeply rooted in Bicol's ecosystems, communities, and aspirations. To bring this vision to life, our mission must connect knowledge with people and opportunity. We will advance transformative and inclusive education, impactful research and innovation, and responsive extension and commercialization services. By harnessing Bicol's place-based strengths and commodity-driven systems, and to turn vision into measurable transformation, we will focus our energies on 4 strategic goals. First, strengthening agri-food systems, food security, and climate-resilient agriculture. Second, advancing fisheries, aquaculture, marine science, and a sustainable blue economy. Third, accelerating technology, innovation, digital transformation, and enterprise. And fourth, developing future-ready, globally competitive, and inclusive human capital. Our campuses will become specialized engines of innovation, each building on its strength, each responding to its communities, each creating distinct value, and together forming one integrated CBSUA. Because knowledge must move from the laboratory to the farm, from research to innovation, from innovation to enterprise, from education to opportunity, and from the university to the lives of the people we serve. And this is how we will move forward. Piliin kaagapay. Piliin means choosing with purpose, choosing our strengths, choosing our priorities, choosing the future we want to build. Kaagapay means advancing together, because transformation is never the work of one person. It is the shared work of one university. For me, leadership is not about standing above the university. It is about standing with it, listening, connecting, building trust, and turning shared vision into shared action. I believe that the future of CBSUA can be globally competitive without ever losing its Bicolano soul. A university where science strengthens food security, where innovation creates opportunity, where education transforms lives, and where knowledge creates impact. Because the future of CBSUA will not be built by one person. It will be built by all of us. Together, we choose transformation. Together, we advance.
We will make CBSUA globally relevant, not by becoming less Bicolano. We will become exceptionally excellent at what Bicol uniquely has to offer. The video you have just watched presents the future I believe is possible for CBSUA. But a vision alone is not enough. It requires leadership that can bring people together and turn aspirations into results. And that's the responsibility that I am prepared to accept. For more than 3 decades, CBSUA has been my professional home. I have served this university as a faculty member, researcher, mentor, administrator, and campus leader. Through those years, I have learned that leadership is not about position. Leadership is about creating the conditions in which people and institutions can succeed. It means listening before deciding, building trust, using resources responsibly, having the courage to make difficult choices, and being accountable for results. That is the leadership I offer CBSUA, a leadership that recognizes the strengths of every campus, but bring us together as one university with one clear direction and a shared responsibility for the result. And this is the spirit behind Piliin Kaagapay. Piliin because leadership requires deliberate choices. Kaagapay because no president can transform a university alone. Transforming requires all of us, faculty and staff, students, alumni, partners, communities, and the board, working not simply alongside one another, but toward shared future. If I entrusted with presidency, I will listen before deciding, unite before acting, and lead with integrity, humility, courage, and accountability. So today, I do not stand before you merely to seek a position. I stand before you ready to accept a responsibility. Let us choose our strengths. Together, let us choose transformation. And together, let us build the CBSUA that our people, our region, and the future demand. Piliin Kaagapay, choosing transformation, advancing together. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay ang CBSUA.
Thank you very much, Dr. Helen L. Madela. And we proceed once again.
What decision for the academic community, particularly the faculty, will you make which you think will be widely unpopular for a week but celebrated in 10 years? Again, if you become the next university president, what decision for the academic community, particularly the faculty, which will you make which you think will be widely unpopular for a week but celebrated in 10 years?
It's elevating the performance requirement for the university. It might be unpopular at first, especially connecting to promotion. We cannot realize the mission and vision of the university if accomplishment of faculty does not comply with the standards. We know for a fact that we have promoted faculty to the different ranks, but as to the result on what does that delivers to the university is still we have to improve. So we have to increase accountability from our faculty and celebrate at the same time their success. Thank you.
Second question will be given to us by the representative from non-teaching, Mr. Luigi Lorenzo Razal.
Good morning, Dr. Madela. So this is the question from the non-teaching human resource. Why is serving as the next CBSUA president significant to you? Again, why is serving as the next CBSUA president significant to you?
Significant to me to be serving as the next CBSUA president because this opportunity, I consider it both as my professional responsibility and personal calling. So I believe I have responsibility to give a higher level of service to our university, Considering my stay in the university, I have a deep knowledge of what are the strengths of the university and what are the challenges that we have to address. So people that should run the university are somebody who has the genuine intention on how to run the university, and I can elevate performance using my leadership framework, which is called Piliin Kaagapay.
On behalf of the students, we have Mr. 𝐷𝐿 Camallia.
Good morning po, Dr. Helen. This question is from students po. If you become the next university president, by what measurable indicators will you define success at the end of your first year? Again, by what measurable indicators will you define success at the end of your first year?
At the end of the student graduates product, I would define success by producing students who do not only graduate just to find a job, but can be able to create opportunities for others. I would be very happy if we are going to educate students not only to prepare for the current situation, but also to prepare for their future on what are the emerging and future requirements of the skills in the global market. So as a university, we do not only educate students, we have to create their future.
For a question from the alumni, we have Dr. Miliet Collada.
Good morning, Madam Helen. What specific strategy will you implement to mobilize the networks of our alumni in support of CBSUA? Again, what specific strategy will you implement to mobilize the networks of our alumni in support of CBSUA?
I will create an advisory council which will include alumni, because I believe alumni, the same with me, possess that great understanding of our university. There will be the mentor for all the university presidents, and they could be a source of resources, financially, intellectually, knowledge, job opportunity for our students. The more we include other stakeholders, the more we have wide perspectives of what is required for the university to act on. So alumni is not just a decoration. We will be part of management, and your voice will be respectfully heard.
And now we have a question from the local government unit to be read by Dr. Rene Rabacal.
Good morning, Dr. Madela. So here's the question from LGU. How will your administration safeguard the institutional autonomy and academic freedom of CBSUA against political interference in governance and appointments? Again, how will your administration safeguard the institutional autonomy and academic freedom of CBSUA against political interference in governance and appointments?
From my speech, I said that the president cannot make the university alone. So we require we need our partners, we need our LGU being the source of the needs of the community. But we can cooperate with everybody, but we cannot compromise our autonomy. We have to respectfully came up with a decision on how we can mutually agree on a situation. Because I believe those politicians, they understand all of us. They understand what is academe. We have to protect the integrity of our university. So sometimes maybe we are just being tested by the politician, but they are our strong link. So I would agree, we can collaborate, but we can never compromise our integrity and autonomy.
Very much, and once again, a round of applause for our candidate, Dr. Helen L. Madela. now, we proceed with our third candidate. To present us her vision, mission, and development goals, we have Dr. Ramona Isabel S. Ramirez.
The Central Bicol State University of Agriculture has already established a proud legacy. Our responsibility now is to honor that legacy by transforming institutional progress into lasting impact. I am Ramona Isabel Salcedo Ramirez, Professor 6 and former Vice President for Research and Innovation. To the members of the Search Committee, honorable members of the Board of Regents, CBSUA stakeholders, my respect to all of you. CBSUA is more than a workplace to me. It is my home. It is where my family's story began and my own academic dreams come true. For 27 years, I have served this institution with gratitude, loyalty, and deep sense of commitment, building partnerships, generating resources, strengthening research and innovation, and advancing community engagements. These years allowed me to understand not only how far CBSUA has come, but also the future it is called to build. CBSUA is progressing. We have expanded our programs, facilities, partnerships, and institutional reach. But the world we serve is rapidly changing. We live in a knowledge-driven society where ideas, innovation, and skilled people create the greatest value. Our development must therefore be impact-oriented, converting our investments into better educational quality, improved public service, and lasting development. Instruction must produce capable and employable graduates. Research must generate credible knowledge and usable technologies. Extension must transform communities. Resource generation must sustain our innovation, and governance must strengthen accountability and institutional trust. My ultimate purpose is to serve, lead, and transform. And my mission is CBSUA. Cultivate future-ready graduates, transformative research, and innovative solutions. Build academic excellence, ethical governance, resilience, and innovation. Serve communities. Unite them with industries and partners, and advance transformational leadership, digital innovation, sustainability, and global competitiveness. This mission will be pursued through a focused 5-point development agenda. First, nurturing empowered, future-ready, and purpose-driven graduates. Our students will remain at the center of institutional decisions. We will strengthen educational quality, curriculum relevance, student support, industry exposure, international engagement, and entrepreneurship. We will preserve our strength in agriculture and life sciences while responding to emerging needs. Every CBSUA student will graduate as an empowered, confident, and socially responsible individual ready to work, lead, innovate, and serve. Second is rooting innovation in research, technology, and enterprise. We will strengthen the innovation pathway from research development to technology transfer, commercialization, and enterprise creation. Research must continue until knowledge becomes a solution and innovation becomes opportunity, reaching farms, industries, communities, and markets. Third is empowering communities and strengthening partnerships. We will deepen partnerships with government, industries, farmers, MSMEs, community organizations, and international partners. Our extension programs will respond to identified needs and measurable outcomes. Success will be measured by enterprises created, incomes improved, practices adopted, and communities transformed. Together, we will position CBSUA as a catalyst of inclusive regional development where knowledge translates into livelihood, productivity, and improved quality of life. Fourth is building smart, green, safe, and resilient campuses. We will optimize and modernize our existing facilities and digital resources before pursuing expansion where it is clearly needed. We will digitalize priority services, expand Wi-Fi-enabled learning spaces, reduce paper-based transactions, improve water and energy efficiency, increase renewable energy use, and strengthen sustainable waste management. We envision campuses where technology improves learning, governance, transparency, decision-making, and public service. And lastly, is leading with accountability, integrity, and strategic foresight. No institutional agenda can succeed without capable people and trustworthy governance. We will continuously develop our human resources, cultivate future leaders, strengthen succession planning, and strategically fill critical positions based on institutional requirements. We will strengthen the technical, managerial, and service competencies of our personnel, support performance, recognize competence, and ensure that everyone understands and sustainable development. Yes, yes, agriculture will remain our foundation, but it will be strengthened by science, innovation, engineering, digital technology, health, entrepreneurship, and environmental responsibility. Our vision must be measurable so that at the end of 4 years, my leadership can be assessed by what we have achieved. We will work towards 90% staffing based on institutional requirements, 95% graduate employability, 20 technologies transferred or commercialized, and 50% increase in our active partner communities with documented outcomes. We will pursue 90% digitalization of priority services, 20% renewable energy utilization, and at least 20% increase in our resource generation. We will also strengthen faculty engagement in research and innovation, expand international opportunities for faculty and students, develop student-led enterprises, and advance resource efficiency across our campuses. These are not merely targets. These are measures of our accountability and of whether we have created a meaningful and lasting transformation for CBSUA and the communities we serve. Together, let us build a university where accreditation becomes competitiveness, research becomes innovation, innovation becomes enterprise, extension becomes community transformation, and education becomes a powerful force for sustainable and inclusive development, rooted in legacy, united in purpose, and driven by innovation. We will nurture growth, root innovation, and transform the future. Thank you very much. Viva CBSUA! To God be all the glory.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ramona Isabel S. Ramirez. And now we proceed with our question and answer forum.
Good morning, Dr. Ramirez. Here is a question selected by the search committee from the faculty. If you become the next university president, what decision for the academic community, particularly the faculty, will you make which you think will be widely unpopular for a week but celebrated in 10 years? Let me repeat the question, Madam. If you become the next university president, what decision for the academic community, particularly the faculty, will you make which you think will be widely unpopular for a week but celebrated in 10 years?
Thank you for that question. It's been a very long time that I would like and really would want to push through a very comprehensive and serious implementation of our IPCR. The IPCR that would give us a guide on the performance of every faculty and personnel in the university. And we are going to look into the function of every academic rank so that we can oblige or we can require all our faculty to perform according to academic rank. In the university, basically, if you were able to enter an SUC, you have to perform 4 functions. We are going to implement this even if this is not very popular, because this is the only way by which we can do and perform according to what is required in SUC Level 4.
For our next question.
Good morning, Dr. Ramirez. So this is a question from the non-teaching human resource. Why is serving as the next CBSUA president significant to you? Let me repeat the question. Why is serving as the next CBSUA president significant to you? Thank you.
This is extremely significant because, as I mentioned in my speech, this is my home. Without the knowledge of everyone, probably, or even only a few, ang una po naming bahay doon sa malapit sa PGRL. And my father is always telling me, you are made in Sinsak. So I am also considering myself as an agricultura kid. And this application for president is my way to pay back what the university has done for me. I have, through the university, I was able to get scholarships. This is payback time. And I am also offering my sincere service, my competency, my experience to this university so that we can continue the progress. Thank you.
Good morning, Dr. Ramirez. This question is from students. If you become our next president, by what measurable indicators will you define success at the end of your first year? Let me repeat the question. By what measurable indicators will you define success at the end of your first year?
In my speech, there are many targets that I presented. But I know that the ultimate success of a state university and college like CBSUA, which is level 4, is the impact to our community and the number of communities that we were able to transform and the lives that we have changed. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Isabel Ramirez. This is from alumni. What specific strategy will you implement to mobilize the networks of our alumni in support of CBSUA? I repeat, what specific strategy will you implement to mobilize the networks of our alumni in support of CBSUA?
First, because I am a researcher, I am going to first determine what are the strengths that the alumni possess by looking at the profile of every alumni and determining who are these alumni who are already successful and can help us in the performance of our mandate. Second strategy is consultation. They are our strength. They can help us in connecting our students to possible employment. They can also be sources of additional resources for the university. Pwede tayong magkaroon ng ADAPA Scholar Program para sa mga alumni natin, para sa mga estudyante natin from our willing alumni. And I will also look at this group or this sector as somebody that can link us to other institutions. Nasa malayo na kasi silang lugar, marami na silang napuntahan. Okay, thank you.
Good morning, Dr. Ramirez. So this question is from LGU. How will your administration safeguard the institutional autonomy and academic freedom of CBSUA against political interference in governance and appointments? Again, how will your administration safeguard the institutional autonomy and academic freedom of CBSUA against political interference in governance and appointments?
Mine is a consultative governance. First, we are going to implement respect, consultation with our stakeholders who are the backbone of every administration. We will always decide based on evidence, based on what we have gathered by consulting our stakeholders. We will be able to safeguard the interference if we will be evidence-based in our decision-making.
Once more, let's hear it for Dr. Ramona Isabel S. Ramirez.
Thank you very much.
Our next candidate, Dr. Christine May C. Regaspi.
Hello. to our esteemed CHED Chairperson, members of the Board of Regents, Search Committee, University President, guest, and the CBSUA community, Diyos marhay na aldaw po sa indong gabos. I am Dr. Christine May Cáceres Legaspi, a proud alumna of this university, Associate Professor 5 and Campus Administrator of CBSUA Pasacao. Clarion's call will always hear. We fondly come to thee. For 2 decades, these words have been part of my life as a student and a faculty member. Today, the Clarion's call is no longer just a lyric. It is my personal calling, not to seek the highest position, but to serve the university that shaped my life. Across every role I've held, program chairperson, dean, campus administrator, one question has guided me. How can I serve better so our campus can grow farther? Long before titles, life was my first classroom. Selling mani, polvoron, halo-halo, and my mother's homemade cassava cake. Makadagdag lang nindikit manabalon. My parents taught us to farm, mag-uma, mag-ani, magbunag, instilling in us the dignity of bringing food from farm to table. Raised by proud CBSUA CSAC graduates, a retired DAR officer, and a public school teacher, we learned perseverance, integrity, resilience, and faith, values who shape us for public service. My strength comes from my family, my children, and my husband, and my faith in God. In 2010, at age 20, I joined CBSUA Pasacao. Classrooms na gawa sa nipa o parang tangkal, or teaching under the shade of trees. Our resources were limited, but our vision was never small. For 16 years, I witnessed and contributed to CBSUA Pasacao's growth under the 3 university presidents. Their trust and opportunities shaped me, earning the Guru Award given by Attorney Bernales, the Delup Guru Award from Dr. Bordado, and the Presidential Award given by our own Dr. Alberto President Naperi. These recognitions mark my consistent service and preparation for this moment. The moment is not about personal glory. It is about responding the urgent challenges of our time. According to PSA, Bicol recorded just 0.5% economic growth in 2025, the lowest among the 18 regions, with GDP declining by 0.3%. Behind these figures are farmers devastated by typhoons, graduates seeking for stable jobs, and families struggling to put food on the table, where the CBSUA fit into this picture. Aligned with SDGs and CHED Achieve agenda, this is the direction we must take to transform challenges into opportunities. And we can do this with my simple philosophy. Education, driven by innovation, rooted in agriculture, strengthens food security, empowers communities, and creates sustainable futures. Malaki ang ambag ng CBSUA sa edukasyon, hindi lamang sa paglilang ng kaalaman, kundi sa pananaliksik ng mga bagong solusyon tungo sa pagsasaka, pagkain at pag-unlad ng pamayanan. If entrusted to serve, our vision is to position our university for food security, agricultural innovation, sustainable communities, and we will work together with our mission to champion transformative agricultural innovation through quality instruction, responsive research, inclusive extension, and sustainable production. I deeply value what CBSUA has achieved. We will sustain what works, strengthen what needs improvement, and build on what we have achieved. To move this forward, I present the service agenda, our roadmap to CBSUA Take Further. S, sustainable digitalization and strategic governance. One network, better service. We will unify digital services upskill our employees, create executive governance dashboard for real-time data on enrollment, procurement, and other performance indicators for transparent and data-driven decision-making. With reliable connectivity and cybersecurity, every campus connected, every decision data-guided, and every stakeholder better served. E, education for agricultural advocacy. One student, multiple pathways, bridges education and employment through micro-credentials, national certifications, and stronger alumni industry partnerships for training and internships. We will embed agriculture across disciplines, tourism promoting from farm-to-table experiences, teachers teaching food security, or criminology strengthening agricultural security. Through the CBSUA AI Solutions Hackathon, students will turn science and agriculture into innovative community solutions. R, research, innovation, production, and extension. We will utilize research to enhance instruction, bringing research and innovation into classroom. And we will turn research into market-ready products for national and global markets. And for the community, we will accelerate technology adoption through partnerships and extension programs addressing Bicol's agricultural needs, because the true measure of research is not the number of papers published or articles cited, but the number of lives uplifted. V, values-based leadership, governance, and human capital growth. Putting compassion into action, we will listen, collaborate, and empower through shared decisions, equal opportunities, capacity building, transparent promotion, and stronger campus security and emergency preparedness. Through Kaagapay 143, we will implement a safe, confidential space where students and employees can talk and be heard before concerns are brought outside the university. A space for a confidential counseling hotline to support stress, academic, work, and personal concerns. Because at CBSUA, we care for our people. No one faces challenges alone. I, institutional partnerships and engagement. We will achieve greater international recognition, stronger rankings, and more strategic partnerships, guided by localization. Think global, act local. We will strengthen partnerships with global and local stakeholders to co-develop locally relevant and market-driven products. Every campus will work with communities to address local challenges, turning into innovative technology and transfer for better livelihoods. C, climate resilience and sustainability. We will make our campuses a living laboratories. Pili will lead agri-solar, Calabanga, blue economy, Sipocot, green engineering, Pasacao, coastal tourism and marine conservation. 4 campuses, 4 strengths, 1 commitment to communities and food security. E, empowerment of communities for agro-industrial development. This is the CBSUA envision for our graduates. Individuals who care, who fight for food security, create solutions, compete globally, and protect our environment. I began my tertiary education journey at the smallest and youngest campus, gaining academic and administrative leadership. Together, we delivered results in programs, enrollment, research, extension, accreditation, employability, partnership, resource generation, and campus development with quality, transparency, and impact. These are not my wins alone, but the collective commitment of our faculty, staff, partners, former campus administrator, and the constant support of our university president. What we achieve in our humble campus, despite limited resources but driven by boundless dream, I will bring to the entire university with young and vibrant energy and a deep commitment to deliver even greater impact. I value all the achievements of our university. Walk with me, and together, let us make the clarions call louder. With humility, competence, and dedication, if chosen as the next president of this university, I offer myself as a woman of action with a soul to serve, louder in purpose, stronger by service.
Thank you very much, Dr. Christine May C. Regaspi. And now we proceed with our questions.
Good morning, Dr. Regaspi. Pwede kang huminga muna, ma'am. Alright. So, here's a question, ma'am, from the selected by the search committee from the faculty. If you become the next university president, what decision for the academic community, particularly the faculty, will you make, which you think will be widely unpopular for a week, but celebrated in 10 years? Let me repeat the question. If you become the next university president, what decision for the academic community, particularly the faculty, will you make, which you think will be widely unpopular for a week, but celebrated in 10 years?
Thank you for that question. As the next university president, if I'll be given a chance, the major proposal that I will be given to our faculty is our promotion to our faculty, but not only that, but of course support in terms of their capacity building, professional development, and time for, of course, which I presented a while ago, the 𝐏𝐀𝐌 143, wherein they have this support with in terms to work balance that would help them to become a better teacher to our university.
For the next question.
Good morning, Dr. Regaspi. So this is the question from the non-teaching human resource. Why is serving as the next CBSUA president significant to you? I repeat, why is serving as the next CBSUA president significant to you?
Thank you. If you have known, I may be the youngest, but the youngest candidate among the 6 candidates of this university, but I believe with my 8 years experience in the academic and administrative leadership, and you can see our output from our campus, we were not just developed in terms of the infrastructure, but across all the areas in terms of the facilities, program offering, and performance in the licensure and all other areas. And with that, I believe that being the next president could also be a priority for this.
Thank you, Dr. Regaspi.
Good morning, Dr. Regaspi. This question is from student. If you become our next university president, by what measurable indicators will you define success at the end of your first year? Let me repeat your question. By what measurable indicators will you define success at the end of your first year?
We were going to require or implement a national certification to all our students. Because with this, I believe the 4-year degree course with the diploma, they will not just going to graduate with their diploma, but a future-ready graduates who are skilled, aligned with the industry needs. Thank you.
Good morning, Ma'am Tin. Ang mama po ni Ma'am Tin ay batchmate ko sa college, batch 8, 1981. Here is the question from an alumni. What specific strategy will you implement to mobilize the networks of our alumni in support of CBSUA? Again, what specific strategy will you implement to mobilize the networks of our alumni in support of CBSUA?
One of the strategies that I would include alumni is, of course, for the possible employment of our dear graduates. We have done this in our campus. What we did, we coordinated to our alumni, asked possible skills that they need, and we invited speaker in order for our students become knowledgeable on the skills, on the things that they need to prepare for their future employable in their respective areas and specialization and courses that they have taken.
Thank you po.
Good morning, Dr. Gaspi. This question is from LGU. How will your administration safeguard the institutional autonomy and academic freedom of CBSUA against political interference in governance and appointments? Again, how will your administration safeguard institutional autonomy and academic freedom of CBSUA against political interference in governance and appointments?
I acknowledge our leaders in the government, but I believe as a university president and of course an academic institution, we must have our own decision as to whatever decision that we made, it should be according to what is lawful, according to the data driven, and for the benefits of the university.
Thank you.
Once anew, thank you very much, Dr. Christine May C. Regaspi. And now, to present to us her vision, mission, and development goals for CBSUA, Dr. Ana E. Miranda.
To our Board of Regents, led by Chairperson and CHED Commissioner, Dr. Shirley Agrupis, to the Search Committee under Dr. Dexter Buted, to President Dr. Alberto Naperi and our university officials, to Dr. Tirso Ronquillo Pasuk, President, and to my fellow faculty, staff, students, alumni, and the communities we serve, a warm good morning. I am Dr. Ana Espeo Miranda, a Professor 6, a Fulbright Scholar at Kent State University, a Japanese Government Scholar at Hiroshima University, and a Juris Doctor student under Scholarship Program of the Provincial Capital, and a DOST Scholar and the Sharka Leadership Development Program recipient. Credentials are only a promise until they are tested. Mine were tested when I was lead to academic affairs at the height of the pandemic. We did not retreat. We rose. QS 4-star recognition, inclusion in the Times Higher Impact Rankings, 2 ISO certifications, 29 and new and revised programs. And for our students, free Wi-Fi across our campuses, a laptop lending program, and a Center for Innovative Teaching and Learning. I share this not to look back, but to give you a glimpse on the brand of leadership I will bring to this administration. globally benchmarked, deeply humane, and relentlessly focused on the people we exist to serve. That is the record. Now, let me show you the future it points to.
Promise. Today, at the Central Bicol State University of Agriculture, that promise has a name: Harvest. Growing people, advancing knowledge, transforming communities. Human capital excellence. We grow future-ready, values-driven graduates, and we make agriculture the frontier the next generation is proud to lead. Agri-industrial innovation. We turn research into technologies that feed communities, add value to every harvest, and lift livelihoods. Responsible AI and digital transformation. We harness artificial intelligence and digital tools wisely and ethically. Vibrant global engagement. We open Bicol to the world and welcome the world to Bicol. Environmental stewardship and sustainable development. We build communities resilient to every storm and a future that endures. Service and stakeholder empowerment. We stand with farmers, our fisherfolk, and every family we are here to serve. Transformative governance. We lead with transparency, integrity, and purpose. As one CBSUA. This is the vision of Dr. Ana Espejo Miranda, to grow our people, advance our knowledge, and transform our communities. Because this harvest is not for one campus alone. It is for Pili, for Calabanga, for Sipocot, for Pasacao, for all of Camarines Sur, for Bicol, for the Philippines, and for the world needs. This is CBSUA, this is our harvest, and the season has begun.
My task as your next president is not to replace our vision, but to power it, to lead a future-ready, globally engaged agro-industrial university, empowering people, advancing innovation, and creating sustainable impact from Bicol to the world. We bring this horizon to life through this mission. CBSUA transforms Bicol's strengths into global opportunities through transformative education, impactful research, responsive extension, and responsible innovation for resilient, inclusive, and sustainable communities. To drive this noble mission, we give it a powerful engine. That engine is Harvest, growing people, advancing knowledge, and transforming communities. Harvest begins with human capital excellence. We will invest equally in our students, faculty, and non-teaching through these initiatives. Straight bachelor's to master's and direct doctoral, double degree programs, secure full CHED compliance of the Doctor of Medicine, student agripreneurship through agribusiness technology incubators, expand scholarship and institutional fellowship grants both locally and abroad, strengthen non-teaching career advancement and professional track program centered on reclassification and merit-based succession. We will lead regional agri-industrial innovation by establishing a national center on stingless bee and Carabao Center for livestock genetics, operationalize both Center for Animal Vaccine and Aquatic, Zoonotic, and Socioeconomic Health Research, intensify high-potential commodity center for industry commercialization, mobilize campus niches, precision biotechnology in Pili, smart aquaculture in Calabanga, coastal management and blue economy in Pasacao, agroforestry and engineering technology in Supocot. Responsible AI and digital transformation will power a transparent and efficient CBSUA by establishing a paperless campus aligned with national e-governance standards and deploy an integrated university management system for student information, records, and learning platforms. Here, Harvest turns to vibrant local and global engagements. As a Fulbright and Japan government scholar, I will bring world-class training, global networks, and academic standards to CBSUA, institutionalize academic mobility programs, drive collaborative research and publication with global universities, expand international apprenticeships, and establish local global career pathways and the placement services with LGU and the local and international partners. We will embed environmental stewardship and sustainable development into CBSUA's core pillars, transition to solar-assisted campus facilities for green operational standards while achieving multi-site ISO certification for zero waste environmental management, and drive research and development in post-harvest agri-logistics to accelerate value-adding for Bicolano staples in pili, coconut, abaca, and rice. We will ensure that service and stakeholder empowerment define the culture of the university. Comprehensive student support on mental health, leadership, and modern learner hubs. Faculty and non-teaching development well-being program, an alumni continuous progression scheme along career tracking and upskilling, a stackable micro-credential and skill badges for the community, mobile digital extension advisory units to deliver real-time technical support. All this is powered by transformative governance. I will lead with total transparency and institutional discipline that is accountable, performance-driven for continuous quality improvement, is strictly aligned with COA, DBM, civil service, and CHED. We commit to the optimal utilization of all university laboratories and modern library resources. This is the heart of Harvest. Our past leaders laid the foundation. We honor their legacy. A harvest belongs to those who tend the field for generations to come, believing in a yield that lasts. Now, I am ready to tend this field. Give me your trust, and together we will not merely plan a legacy, we will harvest it. Mabalos, mabuhay ang CBSUA.
Thank you very much for your presentation, Dr. Ana E. Miranya. And now, for the questions for our candidate.
Good morning, Dr. Miranya. Here is a question selected by the search committee from the faculty. If you become the next university president, what decision for the academic community, particularly the faculty, will you make which you think will be widely unpopular for a week, but celebrated in 10 years? Let me repeat the question. If you become the next university president, what decision for the academic community, particularly the faculty, will you make which you think will be widely unpopular for a week, but celebrated in 10 years?
I am a faculty for about 3 decades now, and I believe that considering their welfare is my priority. It may not be fair to everybody, But here, as would-be president, I will look into not the plight of one person, but the plight of the university. Looking into the career progression scheme of all the faculty members, who is not promoted, who is not given the chance, who are not in the scholarship, who are on the trainings, so that I think would be fair. Fairness for everybody, so that I will promote the welfare for everybody for the benefit of the community and the university.
Good morning, Dr. Miranya. So this is the question from the non-teaching human resource. Why is serving as the next CBSUA president significant to you? I repeat the question. Why is serving as the next CBSUA president significant to you?
I think at this time of my life, I can say that I am already successful both in career and my family. So now it's time for me to give what I have based on my scholarship and my degree. So I am competent. At the same time, I can serve with the heart. That being the president, I can give what I have served to my fellow faculty during my internship and my being a Vice President for Academic Affairs. So, by being competent, serving with the heart, I think that is what the university needs, and I can offer it wholeheartedly.
Dr. Miranya.
Good morning, Dr. Miranya. This question is from student. If you become our next university president, by what measurable indicators will you define success at the end of your first year? Let me repeat the questions. By what measurable indicators will you define success at the end of your first year?
Okay. I will commit that when students enter CBSUA, they will leave the campus with competence, with character, and with all the opportunities that awaits them, with pride that they come from CBSUA. So considering that, I will enhance student services, not only support, but I will give them what they need as would-be entrepreneurs, researchers, and leaders. They will feel pride that they are a graduate and a student of the university.
Good morning, Madam Ana, my former boss. What specific strategy will you implement to mobilize the networks of our alumni in support of CBSUA? Again, what specific strategy will you implement to mobilize the networks of our alumni in support of CBSUA?
Number one priority that I will do is digitalization. With that, we can track our alumni, not only during the time that we need them, but the time that they need us. Because as alumni of the university also has the responsibility to look into their welfare. Upskilling is one of the priorities, and we can do that by digitalization. Easy communication, rapid help can be given to all of them.
Thank you po.
Good morning, Dr. Miranya. So this is the question from LGU. How will your administration safeguard the institutional autonomy and academic freedom of CBSUA against political interference in governance and appointments? Again, how will your administration safeguard the institutional autonomy and academic freedom of CBSUA against political interference in governance and appointments?
local government units, and other partners necessary for the development of the university. But looking into the mandate, it's different. As would-be president, I will look into how the LGUs and the university will closely cooperate and collaborate. This is not about competition as what the LGU can do for the university and the university can do for the LGU. Rather, this is already collaboration. Let's collaborate for a common good because I believe LGU and the university has common purpose for the welfare and good of the constituents.
Thank you.
Once again, thank you very much, Dr. Ana E. Miranya. Our sixth and last candidate to present this morning, we have Dr. Emerson L. Bergoño.
Magandang umaga. I am Emerson Lacson Bergoño, an academic leader who builds excellence, a strategic planner who turns vision into results, a future-ready innovator who prepares CBSUA for the opportunities and challenges of tomorrow. Kubo, simple, pamilyar, isang tahanang hindi kailangang maging malaki para maging makabuluhan. Dito tayo natutong umupo kasama ang iba, nakinig sa kwento ng mga matatanda at natutong makibahagi. At marahil hindi natin namamalayan sa loob ng isang simpleng kubo nagsisimula ang mga pangarap ng isang bata, ng isang pamilya, at ng isang komunidad. Kaya ngayong araw, bago po tayo mag-usap tungkol sa mga programa, proyekto at targets, gusto ko munang itanong sa inyo, anong pangarap mo, CBSUA? Marahil may mga estudyanteng nangangarap na matapos ang pag-aaral at makahanap ng pagkakataon. Faculty member na nangangarap ng university na patuloy silang pinauunlad. Researcher na nangangarap na ang kanilang research ay hindi lamang mabasa, kundi magamit. Magsasaka na nangangarap ng mas magandang ani. Komunidad na nangangarap na maging handa sa susunod na bagyo. Kabataan nangangarap na hindi kailangang umalis sa Bicol para magkaroon ng magandang kinabukasan. Nagnanais na maging maayos, mas patas, at mas umunlad pa ang ating universidad. This may sound like different dreams, but when we listen closely, iisa po ang direksyon. We want a CBSUA that creates opportunity, that produces solutions, that serves its communities, that is ready for the future. Out of these dreams, let us imagine CBSUA that stands at the top agricultural science university of the Philippines, a university who means hope for every farmer, every family, every future. That vision is not a dream. It is a promise that I am here to fulfill with you. Every seed we plant, every student we teach, every community we serve, this is harvest equity in action. Resilience and unity working hand in hand. Together, we don't just grow crops, we grow a fairer, stronger future for every Bicolano family. Ang Paseo 2030 ay nagsisimula sa pangarap nating mga tao. Ang roadmap na walang tao ay mapa lamang. Ang vision na walang komunidad ay salita lamang. And a promise without a pathway remains a promise. Paseo is that pathway o sarong dalan. This is our path, clear, deliberate, unstoppable. From digital transformation today to sustainable food systems by 2030. I am asking for your trust to walk this road with you, step by step, harvest by harvest. Isang tuloy-tuloy na daan ng learning, research, innovation, collaboration, and transformation. At ang tanong po natin, paano natin gagawing posible ang pangarap? Hindi bukas, hindi balang araw, may malinaw tayong hakbang. We start by empowering our people, a campus built for tomorrow. Ito ang pundasyon at titiyakin natin ito ay may tatayo ng matatag, mabilis at para sa lahat upang maging handa sa hinaharap. Kaya sisimulan natin ito sa education and digital transformation, sustainability education, AI and digital technologies, smart learning spaces, experiential and lifelong learning, faculty and staff development, international and virtual academic opportunities. We built a smart green campus, a university that is sustainable, digital, resilient, inclusive, and learner-centered. Because our graduates should not simply be ready to enter the future. They should be ready to lead it. Workforce ready, transformative, and lifelong learners. But a University of Agriculture cannot remain inside the classroom. Our knowledge must reach the field. Laboratories must connect with farmers. Researchers must work with communities. Our students must see agriculture not simply as a tradition, but as innovation. Digital and precision agriculture, biotechnology, renewable energy, circular bioeconomy, agribusiness, and other entrepreneurship. Through AgriVille program, we connect our mandates with industry and communities. Through the AgriPivot program, we move ideas towards technology transfer, commercialization, startups, enterprises, and better livelihoods. We are Bicolanos. We understand storms and uncertainty and what it means to rebuild. CBSUA of the future cannot only be innovative, it must be resilient. Through the Plant Trees program, we use science solutions and nature-based technologies to restore ecosystems and strengthen climate resilience. The Bayanihan program, we bring together communities, farmer, fisherfolk, IPs, LGUs, schools, and partners to build solutions together. Because resilience is not simply surviving a storm. Resilience is making sure that when the storm comes, our people are ready. And this brings up to the dream, not just a smarter campus, but smart communities that are digitally connected, with sustainable livelihoods, with stronger food systems, communities capable of innovation that can stand on their own while standing with one another. This is the harvest of everything we work for: smart, resilient communities and a food system strong enough to feed generations. But there is one thing we must remember. CBSUA did not begin with us. The university we have today was built by generations before us. Every administration contributed something. Every faculty member, staff member, student, researcher, partner, and community. So the next president should not ask, how can I build my own legacy? The better question is, how can I carry forward what others have built and leave CBSUA stronger than I found it? So let us return where to begin, the kubo. A kubo may be simple, but inside it, dreams can become enormous. Dito tayo nangarap, nakinig, magbahagi, bumangon kapag may bagyo. And now, it is time to bring the spirit into the future. From the kubo to the people, to their dreams. From their dreams to a promise, to a Paseo roadmap. Paseo is CBSUA's passage towards sustainability, transformation, and resilience to attain these 4 E's priority outcomes. Mga kaibigan, tandaan, nagsimula tayo sa payak na kubo, sa lupang tinatamnan ng pangarap. Simple lang ang pinanggalingan nito. Mula sa payak na kubo, patungo sa Paseo ngayon, patuloy tayong naglalakad sama-sama tungo sa isang CBSUA na handa sa hinaharap. So let us work together as one family, cultivating the same dream, breeding a smarter, stronger, more compassionate CBSUA. Give me the chance to walk this road with you, and I promise, we will never walk this Paseo alone. Maraming salamat po. Magandang umaga. God bless.
Thank you very much, Dr. Emerson L. Bergoño. And to give us the questions to our candidate,
Good morning, Dr. Bergoño. Here is a question selected by the search committee from the faculty. If you become the next university president, what decision for the academic community, particularly the faculty, will you make which you think will be widely unpopular for a week but celebrated in 10 years? Let me repeat the question. If you become the next university president, what decision for the academic community, particularly the faculty, will you make which you think will be widely unpopular for a week but celebrated in 10 years?
Thank you very much for that question. So I am envisioning a community which is a future-ready community, meaning our faculty members should be capable and ethical, meaning they are ready in taking all the responsibilities, whether proceeding with science, doing research, expanding services to the communities. A future-ready communities and faculty members. Thank you.
Good morning, Dr. Bergoño. This is a question coming from the non-teaching human resource. Why is serving as the next CBSUA president significant to you? Let me repeat the question. Why is serving as the next CBSUA president significant to you?
Running for president is very significant milestone for me. Why? It is because this is the best time for me to cascade and influence and empower CBSUA. And that includes our faculty members, our students, alumni, and other stakeholders. I want the accomplishments that I have as a stakeholder of CBSUA be cascaded and be an inspiration, because in one of my mantra is before I aspire, I aspire to inspire before I expire through my accomplishments, through research, instruction, and community services. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bergonio.
Good morning, Dr. Bergonio. If you become our next university president, by what measurable indicators will you define success at the end of your first year? Let me repeat the question. By what measurable indicators will you define success at the end of your first year?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. I have 4 priority outcomes. The 4 is, namely, quality education, empowerment of every stakeholder, enterprises, and environmental sustainability. I do believe with these metrics or indicators, that is the kind of CBSUA we would like to have in the next coming years. Thank you.
Good morning, Dr. Bergonio. This is a question from an alumni. What specific strategy will you implement to mobilize the networks of our alumni in support of CBSUA? Again, what specific strategy will you implement to mobilize the networks of our alumni in support of CBSUA?
Thank you very much for that question. We will be having an alumni fellowship, specifically by installing a database where all graduates, where all alumni should be in place in that database. And also, with that fellowship, we will invite our alumni not only for homecomings, but we will tap them as technical experts, resource persons, and probably a visiting professor. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good morning, Dr. Bergonio. So this question is from LGU. How will your administration safeguard institutional autonomy and academic freedom of CBSUA against political interference in governance and appointments? Again, how will your administration safeguard institutional autonomy and academic freedom of CBSUA against political interference in governance and appointments?
Thank you very much, sir, for that challenging question. But in my administration, in the governance, I do believe that we should have politically engaged, but we should maintain independence from this political scenario. Politically engaged in the sense that we can be partners, we can be collaborators, we can meet convergence for various development works. But again, when it comes to decision-making, policy-making, we will still independent as an institution, as CBSUA. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Emerson L. Bergonio. And that concludes the presentation of the proposed vision, mission, and development goals of our presidential candidates. Again, we thank all our candidates for sharing to us invaluable pieces of themselves, their vision and transformative plan for the future of CBSUA. We would also like to thank our representatives from the various sectors for their meaningful participation this morning. At this juncture, we await the rest of our presidential candidates to join with us again at the venue. wrap up today's forum and offer the closing words, we welcome for the closing remarks our SUC President 4, Dr. Alberto N. Naperi.
Magandang umaga po sa lahat. Narinig natin yung mga promesa ng ating mga kandidato. Nang nasa likod ako, tinitingnan ko yung bawat isa sa kanila. Inaalala ko nung panahon na ako rin yung nakasalang at tinatanong. Sabi ko doon sa likod kay Sir Boboy, Sir Boboy, hindi ko na kaya ang ginagawa nila. Kaya sabi ko, dapat pala sabi ko, pag may edad na, matanda na tayo, kailangan din nating tapusin na yung pagsiservisyo sa organisasyon natin. Kaya sa ngayon po, lahat may simula at may katapusan. Sa yugto ng aking pagsiservisyo dito sa institusyon na to, ito na po ang oras ng aking pagtatapos. Pero bago ko po kayo bigyan ng kung ano-ano pang promesa, bigyan ko kayo ng isang maikling kwento. Dalawang magkumpare, nag-uusap. Sabi nung isang kumpare, pare, maniwala ka sa hindi, nakahukay ako ng pagkalaki-laking kamote. Napakalaki, mas malaki pa sa isang drum. Sabi nung kausap na kumpare, wala yan, sisiw yan pareng nahukay mo. Ako, sabi nung pangalawang kumpare, drum lang, na pagkalaki-laki. Ako, kumpare, nakahuli ako ng isda. 5 kilometro ang haba. Sabi nung kumparing nakahukay ng kamote, pare, parang yabangan na ito. Hindi ka lang mayabang, mahambog pa. Sabi nung nakahuli ng isda na masobrang haba, pare, kung gusto mong magkasundo tayo, liit-liitan mo ang kamote mo, iksik-iksian ko ang isda ko. Natunghayan nyo kanina kung ano yung mga promesa ng ating mga kandidato. Iba po ang aking pananaw sa ganitong proseso. Walang magaling na leader kung walang magaling na kawani. Bakit tayo ngayon nakatuon lagi sa kanila? Lagi nating hinahandaan kung sino ang susunod na leader ng isang organisasyon. Ang tanong ko, bakit? Sila lang ba ang pwedeng maghukay ng kamote? Sila lang ba ang pwedeng maghuli ng 5 kilometrong isda? Kaya po, bago ko tapusin ang aking punto, may tanong ako sa mga kapwa ko kawani ng gobyerno dito sa loob ng CBSUA at sa mga kandidato. Ang unang tanong ko sa mga kasamahan ko, kaya ba nating magserbisyo nang walang pag-iimbot, bukal sa ating isipan at puso? Kahit sino man sa anim na yan ang mahalal. Tanong ko sa mga kandidato, kaya nyo bang magserbisyo, magpakumbaba, para maintindihan kami at lahat ng membro ng CBSUA, kahit ano pa man ang maging ugali namin. Kung ang sagot sa tanong ko na oo, hindi na po natin kailangan hintayin ang resulta nito. Kasi mapayapa sa ating kalooban, sa isipan ng ating institusyon ay uusbong kahit sino pa man ang maupo rito. Kaya po ngayon, sinasabi ko sa inyong lahat, ako, ikaw, sila, tayo dito sa loob ng Central Bicol State University of Agriculture, ni isa sa atin ay hindi dapat magmayabang. Bakit? Ulitin ko. Ako, ikaw, sila, tayo ay isang tuldok lang. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Maraming salamat po, Dr. Alberto N. Naperi, our SUC President 4, for the closing thoughts you have imparted with us, and of course, the leadership that you have provided us in the university all these years. Thank you very much po. At this juncture, we would like to request our search committee of the president, the members of the search committee, and our candidates for the next university president for after the university. Okay, so at this juncture, we invite everyone to stand as one proud institutional community as we sing the CBSUA hymn, led once again by the CBSUA Chorale. Thank you very much to our CBSUA Choral. And now we invite the members of the Search Committee for President up on the stage, and candidates for the next University President for a photo opportunity. At present, we are still joined by the chairperson of the Search Committee for President, Dr. Dexter R. Butet, via Zoom. We request the candidates to remain on stage for another photo. We also request the members of our Board of Regent to be with us on stage for another photo opportunity.
President.
And now we ask our candidates po to be with the audience now for a picture with everyone. And so we request everyone to please stand as we capture a moment, an opportunity with our presidential candidates. Konting compress na lang daw po, everyone. And now we remain standing for the exit of colors by the CBSUA ROTC, to be followed by the recessional of the Search Committee for President and the candidates for CBSUA President. Again, we request everyone to be back at their seats as we will have the exit of colors by our ROTC, to be followed by the recessional of the Search Committee and our candidates for University President. That concludes our presentation of candidates and public forum On behalf of the Central Bicol State University of Agriculture, this is your Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Darren Avestus. Thank you for your attendance and active engagement. Have a wonderful day ahead.